Good morning. It's a Sunday thought. I've had the privilege the last few days to have a friend of mine who is starting a couple of months, I believe, traveling with visiting friends, some family, mostly friends. And it was really wonderful to be able to sit down over a meal. And my friend is also very much into metaphysics, so we had great conversations. She brings up things because a lot of her modalities are different than mine, but it's just so wonderful to be with friends because most of us haven't. A lot of us, not all of us, but most of us have not been able to travel easily or to go and visit. A little bit complications. Where I live, a lot of those restrictions have been taken off now so that we can move around. And it's heartwarming. And it reminds us how important friends, family are, and the importance of being able to visit, to communicate face to face, to be able to have all those wonderful things go on. I know I'll be taking a journey myself in a few more weeks, and I get to visit some old friends as well, and that's incredible. Plus, I'm traveling with a friend as well. But it's like we forget. It's so easy to forget how important a majority of my friends. I have friends all over, but Canada. We'll talk about Canada here because quite spread out in different provinces and in different ways. And right now, it's not so easy. It has not been easy to travel, to see them, and I must admit, I had to actually, before this particular friend arrived, I was thinking to myself, I think I'm in a little low depression because I wasn't picking up the phone and talking to people. People were phoning me. That was fine. But I wasn't making the effort to pick up the phone and phone them. And I'd think about them, but I wouldn't do that final bit. And I think that's what happens with isolation. When we become isolated, when we just can't go and visit, when we can't go here, or there's a lot of mandates which make it almost impossible to go and visit certain people, especially older people. It's become very, very difficult. And I've heard some stories, and it makes me very sad where the older people and the kids have not been able to get in to see them, and they've died basically by themselves. This is not our society. This is not how we're supposed to be. No matter what's going on, people need someone there when they make their transitions, if possible. Now, sometimes it's not possible, but to deliberately keep children out because of circumstances, because of this or that, I don't agree. Or else let the parent go to the kid's place and make their transition there. Like, they're not going to worry at that point of time. People know when they're going to go, mostly, except if it's, unexpected with a heart attack or something. Now, I'm a great believer in life, and I'm a great believer in the death process. I had years ago, I was like, I had to have a map if I was going anywhere. I want to know where I'm going, like control issues. And then, so I wanted to know what death was. Well, I had a lot of death around me because I was born to older parents who had older siblings, etc., who were passing away. So this whole thing was like, well, what happens? Where are you going? What's going on? Excuse me here. I'm still getting a little bit over where I was ill a few weeks ago. And I have to laugh now because so I went out and through past life regression work in particular, through meditation, through reading certain books, I began to understand the death process. And it's still one of those things until you go through it. I guess you don't really know, but I basically know what can happen and how it will happen for me. So it's like, and I'm smiling because really, when I think back at all the fear that was around that because of my having so much happening around me when I was young, because of all the older siblings and things that were passing over when I was young. But that's part of what life is. Life gives us opportunities. They gives us, and so that we either take them or we do not. as I go back to my friend, who reminds me with friendship, how easy it is, even if you haven't seen them for quite a while. And I find this with my family when I return to New Zealand too, how easy it is to slip back into acceptance and communication and talking, whatever the topics are that you talk about. And it's like an old shoe or a slipper or whatever you want to think, equate it with. It's like you just slip back in. And it all works really, really well. That the thing is that are we still in contact? I have one friend who lives in Toronto, and she calls me probably minimum once a month. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But I don't always call her at all, which is not good. I'm more, as I said, I was kind of realizing I wasn't calling people. I just phoned a friend the other day who had told me that she wasn't very well. We're all getting up there now. So these things happen. And then I just had this thought to phone her. And she said to me, I've been thinking of you. And so anyway, I phoned, and sure, she's just found out a little bit more about her health. Now, yeah, my health. And so consequently, what I want you to be aware of is value your friendships, value your family. Even if there's a little bit of tension or whatever, appreciate them, because one day they may not be there. And things can happen very, very quickly. So I have said my friend's taken off today to begin her next step in her journey, and which is further north from me. And then she's got a very, very big journey the following day, because we all make plans as to how, when, and where, I think, these days. And she's seeing friends and all the way along, and they're all welcoming, because she's a welcoming spirit. She's a very delightful. And I don't know, it just perked me up. It perked me up to recognize that there's more than just my world that I live in and doing what I do. But yes, because yesterday I did a little workshop. I've got some usually on a Sunday, I don't work at all except for this. I usually go out or I watch a special movie, but I am doing some past life readings today. So this, which is very interesting, because I don't usually book them, but there was no really anywhere else where we could agree. So sometimes you just have to put your own schedule aside. And in a way, I just want to touch on that too, is when you have somebody come to visit, your own schedule gets put out the window. And many of us, when you get older like me, it's more like you live by your schedules. But in a way, it's good for you, because it ruffles your feathers a little bit, and you sit back and say, like, how important is that? And what is that? And how things work? Anyhow, basically, my Sunday thought today is value your friends, value your family. Make sure that you pick up the phone and just say, hello, how are you? Thinking about you, love you, etc. Because that's what's really, really important at the end of the road. Friends and family is what's important. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday. I shall see you back. Oh, Wednesday's coming fast again. And oh no, I keep forgetting to say Monday night, 7:00. That's only tomorrow night, 7:00. The mental messages. Not message. Oh, I'm a mess right now. I'm going to say bye. I'll be on tomorrow night with my mental mind still messed up in my brain. Poor thing, it keeps getting lost in the Wednesday talk. Just have a good Sunday. Bye now.